Hello everybody and welcome, it's Debo here, and we're back with another patch notes rundown. This is for patch 2.51, which is the second of the 2.5 patches. More importantly, it's the one with Golden Saucer. These are my first time looking at the patch notes, so let's jump right in. The first thing on the menu is new side story quests. These in particular are the Saga of the Zodiac weapons. Yes, the one final upgrade before the expansion, and another grind for us. Once your Zodiac weapon has been affixed with Mahatma, you can increase its soul resonance level by equipping it and completing certain activities. Once you've achieved full soul resonance, your Zodiac weapon is sufficiently awakened, prevented to Jelzan, and you will be rewarded with a 135 weapon. These weapons are important as this is the first time the relic will actually be on par with the highest level weapons in the game at the same time. Now, this seems like Atma gathering plus light farming, so it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it is going to give you the best weapon in the game for you if you've been keeping up. So that's something nice to see. More delivery Moogle quests. And then the new side quest, the Mandeville Golden Saucer. Golden Saucer will unlock at level 15 and has all of these quests to follow along with it. There's a small little storyline at 15. There's a triple Triad. So you want to be a jockey is for Chocobo racing. The airship ticketeer. Cacpot, which is going to be basically an in-game lottery. They have daily drawings and weekly drawings, I do believe. Hitting the Cacpot is for winning it, so you think you can ride a Chocobo, and like Sire, like fledgling for Chocobo, Chocobo breeding, which is also in this patch. This is a pretty significant mid-patch update, which is why there's pretty decent amount of patch notes. Players can now visit the Golden Saucer to enjoy Chocobo racing, triple Triad, and a host of minigames and activities. There's an entire section on this, and we'll get to that later. With the addition of the Mandeville Golden Saucer, a new Aetherite location named the Golden Saucer has been added to the Thanalan region. Teleport directly to it. New hairdos. These hairdos are purchased through Golden Saucer points, so you won't have access to them immediately. You do have to do a little bit with the Golden Saucer. The MP cost of Arcanist actions Ruin and Ruin 2 have been reduced to the love of all summoners who were worried about their longevity. Summoners are the least mana efficient class in the game right now, and that kind of puts them below Black Mages significantly, because Black Mages don't have to worry about resource management. So the MP cost of Ruin and Ruin 2 have been reduced. Ruin, if you just use Ruin, you never really had mana issues, except on extremely long fights, but Ruin 2 would run you out real quick. And now should be tweaked. Let's hope it makes summoners a little bit more viable. Our rewards for the quest to give to the Archmagus have been adjusted as follows. Before it was just a coat and a catalyst. Now it's a carbon coat or a carbon twine. And a catalyst. So, hey. Now you can upgrade your left sides now with charity gear. New items have been added. We'll get to the items later. New recipes have been added. Culinarian and all of these foods to feed your likely feed your Chocobo racer, which is cool. A tea set to go along with all of the Eastern stuff they put in. The culinarian gets a little boost in crafting this gear. New items have been added to gathering points. Little worm, gregarious worms, Yefam wildgrass, and Mazela greens to botanists. Just a little bit more items for the whole system. The following achievements and titles have been added. Home of the Brave, completing the quest of the Vital Title. Letter Z, Zodiac Weapon, Zeta is going to be the name of it. So, what happens in the saucer? These are all going to be the golden saucer points. I assume you can buy up to about 500 because the achievement's for 1,000. Maybe, maybe not. But there is an achievement to earn 10 million of them, so I don't know how much the max rewards are going to be. We'll learn about that later. I will have a golden saucer in-depth video when the server comes back up. How I learned to stop worrying and love the saucer. Earn the following 7 achievements. Winning as jockey. Always bet on me. That's going to be just the overarching play the golden saucer and you'll get it eventually achievement. Go forth and multiply. Obtain a new chocobo through covering. That's probably the breeding. Chocobo with a pedigree level 9 or higher. This is all Chocobo training, Chocobo racing. The Chocobo racing, gonna have another video yet again, as it's one of those that needs to be experienced. Triple Triad, gonna have a Triple Triad breakdown eventually. There's a lot in this update. There's a lot more in this update than I think there was in previous one, which had a bunch of story missions and all that. But this is all mini games and theme park concept that Yoshi P's been talking about. Here's the rest of the achievements. Gates. There are fates within the golden saucer that allow you to earn golden saucer points just by competing in the events. Went crazy there for a second. I'm sorry. But they're going to earn you a small amount, just like the fates earned you a small amount of seals. Golden saucer points are essentially seals, and the cactpots are going to give you golden saucer points, not actual gil, because if they did that, there'd be too much gambling involved, and I'm sure a couple countries would probably kick them out. The golden saucer category has been added under the character in the main menu. General, it'll tell you how many points you have, the next Triple Triad tournament, recent tournament results, the cactpot ticket, and the mini cactpot ticket. And this is what it's going to look like. It'll actually give you your results and how many points you won in the last tournament. So, hey, card tournaments. If you thought you had any time between now and the expansion, that's pretty much out the window, guys. Next, we move on to Chocobo racing and breeding and all of those parameters. Displays the parameters of your racing Chocobo. Pedigree, the parentage of your racing Chocobo, including parameters of both your Chocobo and its parents. Appearance, make changes to the appearance of your racing Chocobo. And the next section on this window is going to be your card list, which is basically just deck making. Oh no, these are all the cards you own. Then the card deck section is going to let you have deck making. So we have Hearthstone and it's in game now, guys. Triple Triad is a game that was probably the best Final Fantasy minigame, as is the only one that's been recreated unique to its game. Because I remember the old Final Fantasy XI had a play online section entirely devoted to just playing Triple Triad with each other, which is kind of a big deal. Moving on, what else is in this? We're playing up the Golden Saucer because that's pretty much the meat of the patch, but there are other things here. The pet heart bar was changed to automatically be assigned to heart bar 1 when interacting with objects and mounts. They use the hot bar, however, this has been adjusted to only occur if the mount or object is required for the completion of a duty. Now it's not going to drop that, drop the mount abilities on your first hot bar whenever you just mount. So you'll have access to your abilities and all that. It's only if it's in the completion of the duty, so stuff like the mecha mounts in a certain story dungeon and stuff like that. The following categories have been added to the keybind interface under the system menu: shortcuts, golden saucer. Golden saucer is going to have its own button. It's going to have its own text command. It's going to be added to the recommendations interface. The following categories have been added to the auto-translate dictionary. All of this golden saucer translation stuff for those of you who play on non-English speaking only servers, or for those of you who don't speak English and play on English speaking servers. New music has been added. They added a whole new zone with actual sections of the zones. Golden Saucer is going to be more than just one zone. So, new music for everything. Soken's been working. Resolved issues. An issue when using the additional action command wherein the following actions do not function as intended. All the crafting stuff. An issue with the Earth Font trial where the action indicator for Olden's Volknot attack was larger than the actual area of effect. An issue where auto attacks were not triggered even when standing within a striking distance. World of Darkness fixes, Odin fixes, a crafting fix for additional action, macros, all of that. One of them is the transporting effect being cancelled during Cerberus. I don't know if you've seen a couple of my streams or not, but yeah, that was actually a problem and actually wiped us on one fight. Also, the Wolfsbane infinite spawning thing was a problem too. What is still not been fixed, an issue wherein the certain windows cannot be closed if multiple windows are open when the duty window appears, and just stuff that they haven't fixed with this patch. The Triad card for Mog 12 reads Mog 13. Most of these aren't too big. Shouldn't see too much of a problem with them. Now we get to the meat, the Mandeville Golden Saucer section. Visiting the Golden Saucer, you can enjoy a number of games and activities that utilize special currency called Mandeville Golden Saucer Points, MGP. Upon first arriving, you can purchase MGP with Gil by speaking to Golden Saucer attendant at the entrance square, and you can always purchase up to 500 MGP with Gil as long as you have less than that. That's the cap. However, everything, like the tickets at Chuck E. Cheese, are going to cost a lot more than 500 MGP, so you got to get stuff done. Entry requirements, it could happen to you. You get this from any of the major cities, and you're in. Now we move on to Chocobo Racing. Players can now participate in Chocobo Racing, which is, I don't know if you've seen the video, but essentially Mario Kart with Chocobos. They run on their own, you don't really control them, but you control their boosts and stuff like that, so breeding is important. Not so much individual player skill at racing, which a lot of people I think were expecting individual racing skill to be kind of there, but you get what you get. That has a quest within Central Shroud, so you want to be a jockey. Accessing the Chocobo Square, to acquire a racing Chocobo, register your Chocobo and begin racing. Players must first proceed to the Chocobo Square by speaking with the lift operator at the entrance square in 4-6. It's going to be right by the door. Preparing for racing. After completing the prerequisite quest, players can register the racing Chocobo. Over the course of the quest, players will receive either a fledgling Chocobo registration, G1 to M, or fledgling Chocobo Racing G1F, depending on the preferred gender of their Chocobo. In the event you actually discard the registration form, you can acquire a new one, blah blah. How to register your racing Chocobo. After acquiring your registration, speak with the Race Chocobo NPC at the Chocobo Square to complete the registration of your Chocobo and give it a name. All of these sections to basically create kind of like a retainer Chocobo. These are specifically for racing. Into the race, speak with the race combo NPC, and see the races available at your rating. As you continue to enter races, your Chocobo gains experience, it will grow stronger, and its rating will increase. A higher rating will earn you races in higher classes. By the same token, however, your Chocobo can become barred from participating in races in a lower class because they're so high level. Chocobo racing controls. All chocobos carrying their rider to the finish line. However, the only skilled jockey can guide his steed. Only a skilled jockey can guide his steed to victory. I can't speak. It's late. Speed the stamina to accelerate. Press any of the following button keys. Move forward. So it's either the W, the left bumper, or the left analog stick up to accelerate. You have a max stamina, so be warned, however, that accelerating increases the rate which your chocobo stamina gauge depletes, and you will be unable to accelerate for the remainder of the race. So it is something you got to control. You just can't hold down W and hope to win. To steer your chocobo left and right, press the following keys, A or D. So it runs on its own at a very base pace, and you got to control how fast it goes forward, left, right. Basic keys. These are all going to be I'm sorry. These are all going to be more individual skill. So it is more individual skill than they let on initially. There's just no back. You can't reverse. So don't have to worry about going backwards if you're bad at Mario Kart like I am. Magic panels scattered throughout the course. There are magic panels which show various effects. Be mindful, however, magical panels can both bestow beneficial and detrimental effects. Should you choose to avoid one of these panels, you can either steer away from it or jump over them. Spacebar. In addition to magic panels, you may come across treasure coffers containing race items. Race items will be added to the hotbar automatically, offering beneficial effects. Okay, so these are actually achieved like they would in Mario Kart running over boxes. I was worried you'd be able to pre-purchase them before that, and that would give some people more of an advantage going into the race. But they're achieved and used within race, so no harm, no foul. It's just a matter of hitting the chests when you see them. These items I posted them on Facebook and Twitter earlier. Choco Potion, Stamina Tablet, Sprint Shoes, Choco Aether, Bacchus Water, Gravity Ball. These are just all Mario Kart items, essentially. They add them to your stuff. Like, see, Sprint Shoes. It'll pop in the bar. You can hit one, use your Sprint Shoes, and give you a quick burst of speed without using your stamina meter. This is really just going to be Mario Kart. I've said it multiple times. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be Mario Kart. It's going to earn you golden saucer points. It's going to let you race your chocobos and generally take up just as much time as Triple Triad. Weather effects. Chocobo races are held outdoors and therefore subject to varying weather conditions. However, certain chocobos can turn this to advantage. For example, some chocobos perform well under cloudy skies, while others thrive in storms. Players can receive beneficial effects while racing with their birds in the preferred condition. So there's going to be that next layer of things involved with chocobo racing, which I think is really nice. Finishing a race. The race will conclude when all participants have crossed the finish line or 30 seconds after the winner is decided. Results will be determined at this time, with MGP and experience points being awarded based on your performance. Furthermore, those who finish 2nd to 7th, one person will be selected via roulette to receive bonus points. So the winner gets your bonus, then it selects the random person to get another bonus. Roulette does not grant the additional MGP. The MGP is completely based on your finish. You cannot rejoin a race in the event your connection is lost. So it's going to require some stable internet in order to participate with these, because they're not going to be very quick. The racing UI, it'll show you the stamina gauge of everyone in the race. What is this? Race item notices. And your stamina gauge. And your chat box. So we'll get into this more when I can jump in the game, and I will do a more in-depth Chocobo racing video, which I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy. I'll actually be streaming that when the servers come up. These UI elements will be displayed in place of the following current existing UI elements. It's like I said. Raising your Chocobo. You can improve your race Chocobo's performance in 2 ways. Participating in races. As you continue to enter races, your Chocobo gains experience. Its rank will increase. And improving its attributes, occasionally granting new abilities. You also gain entry to races to higher classes. You have the option to retire Chocobo after rank 40 to be used for covering. Covering is breeding. You see training. Will increase your max stamina, acceleration, blah blah blah. Should you wish to develop a giving attribute, you can give your race Chocobo a special feed. This feed will be purchased from the Tack and Feed Trainer in the Mandeville Golden Saucer Chocobo Square. Maximum speed, acceleration, endurance, stamina, hunting. So it'll be up to everyone what kind of Chocobo you prefer. Whether you want one that can just constantly speed boost, or whether you want one that doesn't speed boost quite as often but is really fast. Whether you want one that can go from its base speed to its max speed incredibly quickly, and all of that. Covering. If you choose to retire your Chocobo race, you can arrange a covering with another Chocobo to produce fledglings of a higher pedigree. This is basically breeding, and yes, that's a golden Chocobo. Before covering can be arranged, players must complete the following quest, which is another 15 required quests. You get it when your Chocobo is rank 40 or higher, so it unlocks when you can use it. Arrange a coupling. You must be in possession of at least one retired Chocobo registration form, which can be obtained by retiring a rank 40 or higher Chocobo. Covering can be arranged between 2 of your own retired Chocobos, or between 1 retired Chocobo and a breeding Chocobo hired by the saucer. So for everybody's initial breeding, we're going to have to use golden saucer points, I assume, to hire a breeding Chocobo. But once you have 2 retireds, you can then breed them. But that's where it comes in. You need a male and a female. So you're going to have to alternate. Both male and female Chocobos are required when arranging. Furthermore, only one pair may be breeding Chocobo for the Mandeville Golden Saucer. Arranging the covering. See, this one has high endurance. This is a base stat. Shows its parentage, race ability, Choco Dash, speedy recovery, color, breeding capacity, and pedigree level. Pedigree level will increase and that'll basically be something that is ever changing. When you have prepared your Chocobo for covering, speak with catering in North Shroud at Moogle's Gift Mounts. Please know the covering will incur a fee. Receive proof of covering until payment. Catering will take the 2 Chocobos into her care and receive a proof of covering, which indicates you can retrieve your fledgling Chocobo. Speak with her at appointed time to receive a new racing Chocobo. Does not show the exact amount of time that needs to pass, but you will get a date of adoption, and you need to return after that time in order to get your fledgling Chocobo. You collect your fledgling after the appointed time, speak with catering for the proof of covering and your fledgling, and then we'll then have a new rank, new initial abilities, better pedigree, all of that. Now we move on to Triple Triad, the second thing that's going to absorb all of your time between now and Heaven's War. Triple Triad is a popularized card game in Eorzea. It's popularized everywhere, everyone loves it. Wherein players make clever use of their decks to defeat opponents. The quest you get is inside the Golden Saucer, and Triple Triad has its own wing in the Golden Saucer. First step to becoming a successful Triple Triad competitor is building a deck after completion of the quest. Players will receive 5 cards. Using cards in your inventory, you'll register them to your card list, which can be accessed by selecting Golden Saucer under the character menu. Once you've prepared a deck, speak with the Triad Master to engage her in a tutorial match. New cards can be obtained from the Triad NPC found in the Mandeville Golden Saucers rewards for winning against various NPCs. Prize from the Triple Triad tournaments. So, completing tournaments, you get better cards. Beating NPCs in matches, you get better cards. And you're just going to evolve your deck that way. Unwanted cards in your inventory, such as doubles of those already registered to your card list, can be sold for MGP. So any doubles are still not going to be useless. They're still going to earn you MGP for other rewards. Seek out opponents. Challenging NPCs. They're going to have the Triple Triad quest over top of their head to let you challenge them, beat them, and when you beat them, you get more cards to improve. Challenging players, match registration. You can set the rules, reward, match fee. Other players can also be challenged. The Triple Triad matches to issue a challenge, target your desired opponent, and select challenge. Normal match from the subcommand menu. Although no fee is incurred, neither are there card rewards to be had. However, players will receive MGP bonuses up to 5 wins every day. Eligibility to receive this bonus resets at 7 a.m. PST. That is the same reset time as every other daily. The rules of these matches are set by the player issuing the challenge. Moreover, a challenge can only be issued in areas designated for Triple Triad matches. So, you're going to hang out in the Triple Triad wing by a table, issue challenges, play 5 people a day, earn some coins, play some card games, waste your time, do your roulettes. There's so much to do now on a daily basis that if you have a hard time feeling even at least 3 hours a night, I gotta wonder what you find entertaining. Other players can also be challenged. The zones for challenging are the Golden Saucer, the Adventurers Guilds in the 3 cities, Costa del Sol, Buscaroo Druthers, the Coffer and Coffin, the Observatorium, and Seventh Heaven. Places where you're going to hang out anyway. The 5 cards you get, there they are. They're pretty basic cards, but it's going to be up to skill to use them. As of patch 2.51, 80 varieties of Triple Triad cards are available. Some cards can be purchased with MGP at the Golden Saucer. Others can be obtained as rewards for defeating NPCs, Triple Triad tournaments, and the competition of certain duties. As cards cannot be traded or purchased from the market, players are encouraged to challenge NPCs and journey through Eorzea in search of rare and powerful cards. Cards will be classified by rarity, 1 to 5 stars. Initially, each deck can only contain 1 card with a rarity higher than 1 star. As you acquire more cards, however, the restrictions become less prohibitive, and you will eventually only apply to the highest tiers of rarity. Less than 30 cards, 1 card with a rarity of 2 stars. So this is basically that gate so that really, really high-level players who have built up their decks can't just hang out and stomp the low-level people. You have to at least play within your range. So when you have less than 30 cards, your decks aren't going to be as powerful. But if you have 30 to 59 cards, or 60 cards or more, the decks are going to be more powerful. You're going to be in different tiers. Basic rules. 2 players take turns placing cards in a 3-card grid. The higher number will always win. So 4 beats 3, but only on that edge. Can't play diagonal. And when you flip a card to yours, it's basically a very kind of strategic Othello. It is the best way that I can explain if you play Othello before. So I'll do a video more in depth to explain how to play Triple Triad. And the person with the most cards in their favor at the end of the game wins. The objective is to capture and control more cards than your opponent. After 9 cards have been played, the player who controls more cards is the winner. Note, unplayed 10th card is also counted, so the player that goes last does have a slight advantage. Advanced rules. There are a number of advanced rules. However, keep all is not one of those rules. So you can't bully people for their cards anymore. There are regional rules and match rules. Regional rules vary by location and reset daily at 7 a.m. Post up to 2 regional rules are in effect at any given time. So that makes playing, whether you want to play in Limsa, whether you want to play at Ula, whether you want to play over in the 7th Heaven, whether you want to play at the Saucer, that matters as the regional rules are in effect daily for that specific reason. Match rules are decided upon by the participants. The one who challenges decides the rules, and if you accept the challenge at their rules, it goes. Advanced rules explanation, all open. A rule wherein all 5 cards in each deck are made visible to both players, so you play with hands up. 3 open, where 3 random cards are revealed to the other player. Same. Rule that adds a new condition to the capture mechanic. The numbers of 2 and more cards are the same. You gain control of every matching card. Sudden death. When sudden death is in effect, any match that ends in a draw will be restarted from turn 1. Your deck is new and consists of the cards you had to control over it. 5 more consecutive drawn matches have been played, at which point the game will result in a draw. Basically, just constant keeping up the pace. Sudden death is, there will be a winner, because it's unlikely you're going to draw 5 times in a row. Plus, a rule where the new condition to the capture mechanic, if the number 2 or more cards have the same total when added to the number of adjacent sides of the card you place, you gain control of every matching card. These are combo captures, so you'll flip one and then you'll be able to flip this one. And these all advanced rules that you're going to have to get a handle on the base way Triple Triad plays before you understand these rules. Random, a rule wherein your chosen deck will be replaced with 5 cards selected at random from your entire list. That's just bedlam. Order, a rule where you're required to play each card in order that appears in your deck. Meaning, this person has to play this card, that person has to play that card, then there, then there, then there, then there. So it makes arranging your deck even important. Order, if it's the rule of the day, hey, you gotta order your deck. Chaos, rule wherein the card you play each turn is selected at random from your deck. So you'll be told which card you're going to play, and then you're going to have to play it. Chaos is kind of a... basically, using random chaos is going to be bedlam and fun, and you don't lose anything for losing the matches. So, I mean, have fun with it, right? Reverse the rule in where capturing cards are switched to the smaller numbers are the winners instead of larger numbers. This doesn't change too much because cards with typically high numbers have low numbers somewhere else. So good cards are always good cards, regardless of reverse or normal mode. Fallen Ace, the rule wherein all-powerful A becomes susceptible to capture by the lowly 1. If the reverse rule is in play, 1 will become vulnerable to be captured by A. And you see that there are 5-star cards, just like everything else. They're going to be typically main NPCs. Ascension, the rule that affects cards that are grouped into specific types, such as Primal or Beastmen. When on the playing grid, the number of values of these cards are increased by 1 for every card of that type in play. Numbers that are increased to 11 are considered to be A ranks. So you'll have Beastman type cards with little sylph symbol. You'll have Primals. And that's just, different types of decks for different types of rule sets. Rather than having different games in the meta, Triple Triad changes its meta based on each individual game. Then there's Descension, which is essentially reverse Ascension. just these little ways to play the game, which make Triple Triad really interesting. You would think there wouldn't be too much to do with 5 card decks and a 9 slot game board, but that the rules really do change the games and really make it more tactical rather than just playing a vanilla game. Swap. A rule wherein 1 card from your deck is switched with 1 card of your opponent's before the match begins at random. So if you're keeping up, if you want to play a completely and utterly bedlam match, you go random, swap, random, random, chaos, swap. And you just play with whatever's whatever. Trust me, it'll be fun. When roulette is in effect, the advanced rules for the match have been chosen completely and utterly random. So, bedlam, 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 bedlam. We all love bedlam. It makes things fun. Triple Triad tournaments. The Mandeville Golden Saucer will periodically host Triple Triad tournaments, some of their most enthralling and popular events, competing against the realm's best players for a chance to win some of the rarest cards to be found in the game. Participating in tournaments, players can sign up to participate in ongoing tournaments by selecting the tournament record keeper at the card square in the Mandeville Golden Saucer. It should also be noted that in addition to players, NPCs located within the card square can also participate in tournaments. You have to complete your tutorial match before you can get into tournaments. Tournament rules. Participants can only play a set number of matches per tournament, with every match played counting towards their final score. The score will increase for every match won, more points being awarded to defeating higher ranked opponents. Each tournament has a fixed set of advanced rules the tournament match must follow. This does not apply to regional rules. Regional rules are always going to change. The rules for the tournaments are going to be static, so that's going to provide a little extra layer in there, because the regional rule might change and not be completely in line with the actual rule. Tournament rankings. Players can view standings for ongoing tournaments at any time by either speaking with tournament record keeper at the card square in the Mandeville Golden Saucer, or examining the nearby tournament ranking board. Scores will be locked at the moment the tournament ends, and these numbers will determine the final rankings. When 2 more players with the same score at the end of the tournament, ranks are determined by the greatest number of wins. If wins are also equal, then rank will be decided by the least number of matches played. Should a match number also equal the higher ranked, the participant who first recorded a result in the tournament ranking board. So, when you enter a tournament, the final tiebreaker is when you played your matches. Moving on to the lottery. The Cactpot. Yeah, 3 points. The daily mini Cactpot and weekly jumbo Cactpot are 2 popular games in the Golden Saucer. Jumbo Cactpot is a lottery limited to 1 ticket purchase per week. Before purchasing the ticket, players must first complete the following quest. Collecting ticket numbers. Yes, this is the lottery. Plain and simple. When purchasing the Jumbo Cactpot ticket, simply pick a 4-digit number, each one between 9, out of that weekly lottery. There'll also be participating bonuses, which include all MGP prize based on the number of tickets sold. There are also multiple levels to participating bonus. The higher this level becomes, the larger the subsequent bonus. When the winning number is drawn, in order from the last digit to the first, or matching numbers have, the greater the prize you receive. After the drawing, you will have 1 week, Earth time, to claim your prize. After this 1 week period ends, you will be unable to claim that prize. In addition, your other winnings will receive the early bird bonus if you claim your prize within 1 hour of the drawing. The time of the drawing will differ depending on your data center. So the data centers are based on region. So hopefully you're playing in a data center that's actually meant for your region. Otherwise, these times may actually tick into your day. Elemental, Gaia, and Mana, I do believe, are the Japanese data centers. So that is every Saturday at 4 a.m. PST. Aether and Primal are the North American data centers, which are 6 p.m. PST or 9 p.m. 9 p.m. on a Saturday. So if you're a social butterfly, that time is probably not going to work for you. But if you're obsessed with a game like I am, you're going to be in at 9 p.m. on a Saturday. And Chaos is the European, which will open up at 11 a.m. PST, which is about 4 o'clock Europe. So it's about the time, it's about main prime time for the people who are intended to be on the data center. So yeah, if you collect it within an hour of that drawing, you actually get bonus rewards based on that. The mini Cacpot. The mini Cacpot is lottery limited to 1 ticket purchase per day. Before purchasing a ticket, the players must first complete the following quest. Select numbers. Every ticket has 9 spaces, each number randomly from 1 to 9. At the start, however, 8 of these spaces are hidden. Begin, select 3 numbers from the 8 hidden on your ticket. So, if the Cacpot is lottery, the mini Cacpot is scratch-off tickets. Do it once a day. Get some golden saucer points. Select the line, select the number of 8 lines, vertical, horizontal, diagonal. When selecting a line, the sum of 3 numbers will determine the amount of MGP you receive. So in this case, if your total was 6, so if you hit 000, you'd get 10,000 MGP, which is impossible because your ticket starts with 6. If you selected a line, all numbers are uncovered and you will receive MGP based on the sum of the line you chose. So in this case, choose this line. 4, 5, 3 added up 12. 12 wins, 108 coins. That's just how it works. Eligibility to purchase mini Cacpot tickets resets the daily. So hey, a free chance at getting MGP. There appears to be no loss. I'm not sure if you spend MGP to actually buy the ticket, but I'm pretty sure you get the reward back. Don't know. We'll have to see what the price is. Gates, Golden Saucer active time events, or gates, are audience participatory events staged within the halls of the Golden Saucer. Gates in progress will be indicated on the map icon. To participate in the event have been announced. Seek out and speak to the gate client nearby. These are just quick time events. They're just for small little fun. They'll give you some Golden Saucer points and pass the time if you're hanging out. Minigames. The Golden Saucer also hosts several minigames for your enjoyment. These simple yet captivating games are an easy way to accumulate small amounts of MGP, much like the gates. Monster Toss, which Yoshi P said was his favorite, is basketball game. Crystal Tower Striker. Watch the gauge bring down the hammer in a 10 of strength. Moogle's Paw. Keep an eye on the prize and guide the Moogle to its goal. And Cuff a Cur, keep an eye on the gauge to see how much of a punch you pack. Claiming Golden Saucer prizes. After accumulating sufficient MGP, players can speak to the Golden Saucer attendant to get a myriad of prizes. Gambler outfit, the bunny suit, the Fenrir mount, the Adamantoise mount, and the Fat Chocobo minion are all on the table. So this is just a bunch of fun stuff. You're not going to get anything to advance yourself, but you are going to get just some fun items. So you're not forced into participating in Golden Saucer, but I think a lot of people are because the Fenrir mount looks pretty awesome. The new items available: Blood Sword, Excalibur Zeta, Apec, Kaiser Knuckles, Ragnaros Zeta. Trench Harpoon, Longinus, Crescent Bow, Yoichi Bow. I'm not sure what these item level 50 items are. That's interesting. I'm unsure what those are. We'll have to see. Oh no, these might be the Golden Saucer equivalent of Glamour weapons. Then we have a bunch of glamoring stuff. Chocobo Racing Mask, Gambler's Trenchcoat, Charlene Goggles, Bunny Crown, just all of this glamour gear that's going to be available to you. It's all item level 1. Then we have our feeds, which are going to give your Chocobo better stats during trainings. Made by culinarians. Hopefully not a high level craft. I wouldn't assume it's going to be much than a 2-star if they're keeping in line. Might be a 3-star. If it's a 4-star, I fail to see how they're keeping touch. Modern aesthetics ponytails. These are the hairstyles you actually have to buy. Golden Saucer tickets. Redeem 1 free play at the Mandeville Golden Saucer minigames. Little worms, gregarious worms, wild grass, Mazzela greens. These are all to feed your Chocobo. Bronze Triad, Silver Triad, Gold Triad. Cards you get from drops, and then can grab your specific card. MGP vouchers redeemable for 100 points. Green tea set. Black Curl minion. Zoo hatchling. Heavy hatchling. Water imp. More minions. Proof of covering and Chocobo registration. Covering permissions. Training manuals. These are items that have a 50% success rate and give your Chocobo. Oh, what is this? Choco Cure 2. Comprehensive manual detailing Chocobo training methods developed by expert across the realm. Use this to teach your race Chocobo the Chocobo Cure 2. So there's 1 and 2 levels of Chocobo abilities, and the manuals are going to teach them these abilities. Now this all matters when you breed, because abilities carry over, and all that. So we have all of these training manuals. Adamantoise, Swizzle, Fenrirhorn, Gambler Barding for your Chocobo. Leafwater will unteach an ability or a trait. Then we have all of the cards. There are 80 in total, with a bunch of legendary ones that are not quite displayed. And that is the end of the patch notes, guys. Like I said, when the servers go live, you can expect to see me streaming some Golden Saucer. I do want to get into Chocobo Racing and Triple Triad almost immediately. My relic is probably not going to get done this week, but I will be working on that as well. I got to do the World of Darkness weekly as well to upgrade left sides. And basically, there's going to be a ton of stuff to do. I hope to see you in game.